Hi everyone, and welcome to December 2023. I'm Tricia Farin, and you're watching Keeping the Real in Real Estate. It really has been quite a year. There's been so much speculation as to what people thought this year would turn out to be. A housing crash, interest rates perhaps coming lower in the fall, values of homes reduced. None of that happened. And I hear what's going on for next year, and I'm very skeptical. I've seen where there's been still plenty of offers going in well over asking. I've seen where there's been a couple of months of just no activity. What I'm seeing now is that buyers are still saying, listen, I'm willing to buy a house, but I'm not willing to make ridiculous offers or do things that are going to put me extended into my finances where I'm going to be uncomfortable. I have a great example for you of something that was done recently, and it just worked beautifully. So we put a house on the market and it had delayed maintenance issues. Even driving up to the home, I was like, this is going to be a little tough because it just didn't have the curb appeal that it should, that would attract buyers. And sure enough, feedback after feedback kept saying that it's cute, but there's just too much work for the price. But I knew that the price was right. It just needed to be better. So after a few weeks of the house being on the market, I talked to the seller, and his immediate thought was, well, let's just lower the price. But I really just didn't think that the price was the problem. So when I went through some of the issues with the home with him, and he kind of took a look and realized, yeah, I could see what you're saying, we took the house off the market for a few weeks. We took care of some very major issues that helped the curb appeal of the home. And when we put it back up, raised the price slightly, and inside of a week we had an accepted offer. This is the kind of dynamic that I've been seeing. If a seller is reasonable, and if a buyer understands the value, we have a deal. People who are looking for homes right now need to move or really want to move and have the capabilities of doing it. They're just not going to take on more than they feel comfortable doing. And when a seller recognizes that the package of what they're representing in their home to the marketplace may not necessarily be 100% attractive to the market, the changes that they can make could possibly be different than what's expected when you look just at a price change. He ended up spending about what he would have had he lowered the price. However, we went up a little bit in price, so he recovered a little bit of it. And now the buyer feels like they're getting a really nice house and not having to put in all this extra work to get it to be pretty, and the seller got his price. This dynamic is a beautiful thing, and it's not always the case. But certainly there's opportunity out there for both buyers and sellers to come together and create value for both and move things along. And I think if people just kind of recognize that, the next few months may not be as difficult as could be. Now, there's talk that interest rates are coming down, and honestly, if they do, I'm going to be so happy for the buyers, but I'm going to be terrified for them as well because there's still no change in the inventory. So all that's going to do is create more demand without giving any kind of relief to options that are out there. So I'm asking you, as you evaluate your home, whether you're planning on staying or if you're considering moving, to really look at the property and see, is there anything that you could do to it to make it more attractive to the market? I am thrilled to come and give you a honey-do list. I'm nice about it, but I'm very strict about it because I see things from the buyer's perspective, and I can tell you that what they're seeing over here or how they're feeling about this aspect of it may not be what you see as a homeowner. I also struggle to help sellers understand the value of their home when they only look at it from an emotional standpoint. And I've said this throughout the year. It really doesn't matter that little Jimmy, broke his arm on that staircase and everybody had to nurse him, or who was born in the house and whose kids were raised and when you got your new puppy. It is all meaningless to the buyer because the buyer wants to see the memories that they're going to make in this home. What's important is how old is the furnace? Does the roof leak? Is it beautiful? Did you put in mature plantings? How are they going to be able to use the amenities of the home for their family? So when we look around the house and we make our honey-do list, it's not about preserving the memories of your family, but putting a clean slate to create memories for the new family. And buyers, we all understand it's tough for you. You don't have a lot to put down. You are going to pay a ridiculous amount of money for your mortgage. However, home ownership is the best investment over the long term. Generational wealth is built in real estate. Renting is a waste of money. There is no equity in renting, and you do pay 100% interest. So I ask you to look at your finances and say, is it better to get the smaller house, maybe with a little bit less land right now, that we can either refinance when the rates do come down or exchange for a larger house later but build equity? Or is it better to still pay your landlord's mortgage? Think about that. So as we move into our goals for 2024 and you're looking at your real estate needs, I encourage you to reach out to me. I am happy to talk about anything real estate. If it's a question I can't answer, I have an amazing team behind me that has the resources all throughout the country to be able to help anybody anywhere in the world. I work for the #1 real estate brokerage in the country, as rated by Inman, an industry standard. And I'm also #1 in Newtown with our brokerage. So I know I have tons of confidence in what I could prepare for you and I can give you as a resource. So thank you for listening all year. I look forward to hopefully bringing great news in the real estate market for 2024 and being your partner in real estate for all your real estate needs. Thank you for watching Keeping the Real in Real Estate.